Hi, my name's Hayley Quinn, and to celebrate the launch of my brand new program, Dating OS, I've created a very special YouTube mini-series for all the guys out there. If you're listening to this and you want to improve your dating skills, I'm releasing brand new information. In this video today, I'm really excited to teach you a very, very simple 5-step process where you can say hello to her regardless of whatever situation you're in. Now, at the moment, you might be finding that you're trying to meet girls on nights out, in nightclubs, and they're not quite responding to you in the way that you would like. You might also be thinking, well, it's really impossible to just talk to a girl in real life because I don't want to interrupt her and I don't want to be rude. You might be Googling how to talk to a girl and you're getting this advice and it's just confusing you because it all seems to contradict each other. It's too complicated. And actually, because you're struggling to remember all of those lines, you're actually not being able to put one foot in front of the other and go over and do the thing of saying hello to her. Now, I know because I work with so many women as well, how much women are crying out. They're like, where have all the guys gone? Are they extinct? Why am I not getting approached? So to solve this, I've created an extremely simple skill set that you can follow, which will allow you to approach any woman, anywhere, in a way that is respectful and ethical. And the best thing about it is it's super simple and really easy. Now, the reason I'm teaching this basic approach of 5 steps is because I actually want you to be able to take action around it. I don't want to teach you all of this super complicated stuff that we can leave to later on if right now you're not meeting any women. My first job is to make you able to meet women in whichever scenario you see them in and feel fully comfortable in doing that. After that, we can work on the fine-tuning. So I've taken this series of 5 steps from my Dating OS program, and I'm going to be sharing them with you exclusively. So are you ready? It's going to be simple, and it's going to be easy, and it's going to be practical. Okay, step number 1. The first thing that you need to do is you need to have her attention. I know this sounds simple, but in fact it's incredibly important. If you're speaking to a woman at a bar and she's facing towards the bar and you're trying to talk to her, if she's on her mobile phone, if she's basically doing anything other than being still, either sat still or stood still and making eye contact with you, whatever you say afterwards isn't going to have the meaning and the impact that you'd like. That's why the first thing that you say to a woman, surprisingly enough, is just hi or excuse me, and then you pause. Now this allows her to go, oh, hang on, somebody's speaking to me. And remember, she has to be fully engaged with you to understand the reason that you're saying hello to her, to understand that your intentions, and also to give you the respect and the attention that you deserve. Second thing, now, because you might be approaching a woman, and I'm imagining maybe you're saying hello to her maybe in a coffee shop or on your commute to work or on your commute to school or on a night out, she might not be expecting that there's this awesome guy that's about to start a conversation with her. So the second thing that we need to do is we need to have a little buffer in the conversation which allows her to kind of focus and go, oh, hang on, someone's speaking to me. Now, I know a big problem as well is that you might be looking at her and thinking like, I'd really like to say hello to her, but she's with a friend, or she's working on her laptop, or she's definitely scrolling through Instagram, so she looks really busy and I don't want to interrupt her. To do this, we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I'm going to get you to say as the second step, I know I'm interrupting, or I know I'm rudely gate crashing, I know you're right in the middle of doing that other thing. Now, the reason that you say that is you want to show that you're socially aware and that you acknowledge that there's a completely different demand on her attention. You also want to get more attention and more focus from her and make her feel relaxed that you're speaking to her in a way that is respectful. So just to go over those 2 steps again, we're going to say hi, pause. I know I'm rudely interrupting. I know I'm gate crashing. I know you're right in the middle of that other thing. After that, your step 3, again, super simple. You just want to say, I just had to come and say hi to you. Now, the reason that you say that is because I don't want to overcomplicate it by making you think that you have to come up with this extremely creative, wonderful, one-of-a-kind thing to say to her. The fact is, she's not there assessing how good your line is or how brilliantly original that was. She's more concerned with, are you being sincere? Are you being authentic? Do you seem calm? Do you seem relaxed? That's why actually not overcomplicating things and saying something simple like, I just had to come and say hi to you, or I thought you looked really nice today, is actually better, because if you're more relaxed, you find it easier to deliver those words, then she's actually going to be reading that instead. Also, I just had to come and say hi isn't even a direct compliment. What it is it's an implied compliment. It implies that because you were attracted to her, it kind of prompted you to come and say hello. Because it's an implied compliment, it means it's really like inoffensive and just a lovely thing to say to someone. So it's super safe. Step 4. Now this is something that's often missed out, but you will find that if you do steps 1, 2, and 3, that most likely, and I can honestly say I've witnessed this in thousands of approaches where I've watched a man approaching a woman, the woman will say, "Oh, thanks," and then she'll walk off. And it's not that she doesn't want to continue the conversation with you or isn't open to that. She really just thinks that if you've said, "Hey, I know I'm kind of gate crashing, but I just had to come and say hi to you," she might well think at that point, okay, he said to me what he wants to say, so I'm going to go back to what I was doing initially. Particularly if you're approaching in a daytime setting as opposed to like a nightclub or a bar, she might not understand that you have an intention to carry on the conversation. Now, I've developed a really cool and simple way to signal to her that this conversation ain't over yet. And that is simply that you offer your name, and if it's during the daytime as well, you can even extend your hand, and you say, "My name's Adam, by the way." Now, what happens here is people are predisposed to respond to that handshake or that offer of your name, and they almost feel like a natural inclination to stop and join back into the conversation. So you can utilize this so that you get her engagement further. Also, I want you to notice how we're developing a conversational style here where you're offering your name first. You're not seeking any information from her. You're not saying, "Where are you from? Do you come here often? So what's your name?" Instead, we're offering from your side. So again, it's a very empathetic, nice, respectful form of conversation. Now, once you've got her name, the final thing that I want you to say, and this is honestly, it's genius, and it keeps conversations going and sticks them together. So if you also have an issue where you can kind of say hello to a girl, but it never really translates into a full-blown conversation, this is going to help you out. And that's simply where you say, "I don't know about you, but I." Now, I know this sounds like a really silly phrase. You're like, why am I telling you this? But what you want to do is you want to move the conversation off of the initial hello onto the main body of the conversation. You've also got to understand, if you were approaching a woman and she's never met you before, there are certain things about you that she just doesn't know. She doesn't know kind of where you're from, what you're doing with your life, why you happen to be in that coffee shop that afternoon. Now, for her to feel trust in you and to feel ready to continue the conversation, she's probably going to want to know a few details about you. So this little phrase gives you a hook or a little springboard where you can start to add more information into the conversation. Imagine if you met her on a dating app, it would just tell her like how far away you were, kind of what you did, and a few other details about your life. With you standing in front of her today, there's just none of that information. So I want you to add that in, build the trust, and when she has more trust with you and she understands a bit more about who you are, she should open up and feel much more comfortable with continuing the conversation. So you could say something like, "I don't know about you, but I almost didn't make it to this event this evening because I was late for work and I work kind of over the other side of the city." Now, something like that sounds simple and basic, but in fact, you very cleverly told her a few key details about your life. Likewise, you could say, "I don't know about you, but this is actually my favorite coffee shop. I come here every single Saturday to do, when I'm not working, to work on my other projects. I always get one of their iced frappuccinos." Now, again, builds trust. You've told her a little bit about your daily habits, why you happen to be there, your coffee choice of preference, kind of what you're working on at the moment. This will help her to kind of understand who you are, because, surprise, women definitely want to meet men, but they want to meet men who want to meet them in a way that is respectful, that engages with them, that isn't too forceful, and they want to meet men who they perceive to be on their level. And I know that you're an awesome guy, but she can't just tell that often just by looking at you. And for women, that process of becoming attracted to someone is something that takes a bit of time normally. So that's why it's important that you introduce these key points about your character into the conversation early on. So let's just go over that. I'm going to run through all 5 steps together. Then we're going to recap all 5 of them quickly for you, because I want you to be able to go out, to write these down and actually go out and use them hopefully later today. That would be awesome. I'd love that. Okay, so if you say hello, it might go something like this. You might say, hi, pause. I know I'm interrupting, but I just had to come and say hi. My name's Adam, by the way. I don't know about you, but I blah, 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 blah. Now, breaking that down, remember first principle, we need to have her attention. If you don't have her eye contact and she's not focused on you, there's no point in continuing. Second thing, if she's doing something else, which most people are most of the time, like when is anyone ever not with their phone in their hand or with a friend or working on their laptop, you need to acknowledge that. Let her know that you're aware that her focus is elsewhere and that you're not being rude. Point 3, keep your opening line super simple. Say, I just had to come and say hi, or I thought you looked really nice today. Women are not judging you based on who has the most awesome and creative line. They honestly would just like to meet somebody who is sincere, who's got a good vibe about them, who seems relaxed. So do what you need to do to get you into that headspace. Step 4, swap name. Offer your name is so important because she might not understand that you seek to continue the conversation otherwise. Step 5, say, I don't know about you, but to offer in key details about yourself into the conversation so that she understands kind of why you're there, what you do, and a few more things about your life so that she can also become intrigued by you. Now, I want you to use these 5 steps. It's my basic approach taken from my Dating OS program. There's loads more details that I could add to this, but my main goal here is for you to be able to go out and to use this in real life ASAP. So if you're constantly finding that you're kind of talking yourself out of approaching her or you don't know what to say, use this. I promise it's tried and tested over thousands of approaches. It's super respectful. It's woman approved. They love it. And I'd love to hear how you get on. By the way, I've got even better news. I've created a cheat sheet on these 5 steps with tons of examples so that you can print it off, you can remember, and you never have to forget these 5 steps. It's super simple to get. All you need to do to get your free cheat sheet on this is click on the link below, and that'll lead you through to my patented 5 steps to approach, which is going to help you out so much to approach any woman, anywhere.